Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jamaica News in Review. Vendor killed in daylight gun attack in Crossroads. A male vendor was shot and killed by a gunman in broad daylight in a brazen attack in Crossroads, St. Andrew on Sunday morning. Another vendor, a female, was also injured during the incident, police stated. The dead man has been identified as 33-year-old Kavanan, a resident of Pendick Road in Kingston 11. The injured woman, who is 54, has been admitted to hospital. It was reported that around 8:55 a.m., Kavanan was at his stall where he sells food when a man approached him and engaged him in a short conversation. The man then went back to his vehicle, returned with a firearm and opened fire at him, who ran towards the now injured woman. The gunman continued firing, hitting both victims. The vendor received gunshot injuries to his head and upper body, and the woman to her buttocks. They were rushed to hospital, where the gentleman was pronounced dead and the woman admitted. No motive has been established for the killing, the police stated. The Crossroads police are investigating. Person of interest in disappearance of Paulwell's daughter was on watch list. A person of interest in the investigation into the disappearance of a woman and the infant child she shares with opposition Member of Parliament MP Philip Paulwell was on an immigration watch list, law enforcement sources have disclosed. His identity was not disclosed as the top-level investigation is being conducted on a need-to-know basis, sources stated. Reporters understand that the man was turned back by immigration authorities at the Norman Manley International Airport in Kingston after he showed up to board a flight on Friday. The person was on an immigration watch list. He was on his way out and we stopped him from going, a source revealed. However, the man is not in police custody according to multiple sources. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitzbailey declined to comment on the probe when contacted by reporters. The investigation is ongoing and I am not going to comment any further, said Bailey, who heads the Police Criminal Investigations Branch. It is believed that 10-month-old Sarah Paulwell and her mother, 27-year-old Miss Patterson, were abducted from their home on Gilmore Drive in St. Andrew on September 9. They were last seen about 7 a.m. at the gate to their home, according to family members. 1 week later, they were brought to remain a mystery despite a $500,000 reward for information that could lead to their safe return. Calls to Paulwell's mobile phone went unanswered, but in a Facebook post on Friday, the 6th-term MP for Kingston East and Port Royal described the past week as very horrific for me. He said despite efforts, nothing has brought the police or family members closer to locating his daughter and her mother. I have dealt with many things in my life, but the disappearance of my daughter and her mother is by far the most difficult thing I have ever had to navigate, said the former cabinet minister. Sanders Vice President hospitalized after being stabbed in home invasion. A vice president of Sanders Group has been hospitalized in serious condition after he was attacked and stabbed several times by an intruder at his apartment in Freeport, Montego Bay, St. James on September 12. Superintendent Aaron Samuels, head of the St. James Police, confirmed to reporters that investigators are probing the attack on 73-year-old Donald Smith, who is head of transportation at the Sanders Group. Reports are that sometime before 8 o'clock, Mr. Smith arrived home from work when he was attacked by a man who reportedly broke into his apartment. The suspect used a knife to stab him several times in his upper body. The wounded man alerted a relative, who called the police and an ambulance. He was transported to the hospital for treatment. Detectives from the Montego Bay Criminal Investigations Branch are reviewing CCTV footage as part of their investigation into the matter. Man charged over theft at school farm in Guys Hill. A man has been charged with murder larceny in connection with the theft of items from the farm at Guys Hill High School in St. Catherine. Garfield Griffiths, otherwise called Little Dread, of Guys Hill, is to appear before the St. Catherine Parish Court unlisted on Tuesday, September 19. It is reported that about 1:30 a.m. on Saturday, September 17, residents observed strange movement at the school farm and alerted the police. The police responded and a man was held with 9 bunches of plantain and 3 bunches of banana valued about $40,000. He was arrested and charged. Man fatally shot by police in Central Village identified. The man who was fatally shot in an alleged police confrontation on Saturday in Big Lane, Central Village, St. Catherine, has been identified. He is 20-year-old laborer Shaquille Smith, otherwise called DJ, of Broad Jungle in Central Village. It is reported that about 10:20 p.m., a police team was on patrol in Big Lane when, upon reaching the intersection of Tate Drive and Central Road in the community, Smith was seen and he reportedly ran. He was pursued by the police into a premises where alleged pointed a gun at the cop. The police said the cops took evasive action and Smith was shot. According to the police, a 9mm pistol loaded with a magazine containing 6 rounds and another magazine containing 15 rounds were retrieved from him. He later succumbed to his injuries at the Spanish Town Hospital. Police seek public's assistance in locating relatives of deceased woman. Detectives assigned to the St. James Police Division are seeking the public's assistance in locating the relatives of a woman who was killed on Jimmy Cliff Boulevard, Montego Bay in the parish on Friday, July 28. The body is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 6 inches tall. It was clad in a white blouse, multicolored skirt, and barefooted. Reports were that about 12:10 a.m. that day, citizens stumbled upon the body of the woman and summoned the police. Upon their arrival, the woman was found on the sidewalk with a stab wound to her back. The scene was processed and the body removed to the morgue. The relatives or anyone who may be able to locate the relatives of this woman is being asked to contact the Montego Bay CIB at 876-953-6191, Police 119 emergency number or the nearest police station. 60 years old, found dead at pig farm in Plantain Heights, St. Andrew. A 60-year-old farmer was found dead at a pig farm on Everest Drive in Plantation Heights, St. Andrew on Sunday morning. Police said the deceased is believed to be Lloyd Garnett, a pig farmer from Water Lane in Mandeville, Manchester. Reports were that the body of the now deceased was found around 8:30 a.m. after residents reported they heard loud explosions sounding and contacted the police. Upon arrival, the police found the body on a hillside near a pig farm lying face down with what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the head. The body, police said, is of dark complexion, slim built, about 5 feet 6 inches tall, and sports dreadlock hairstyle. It was clad in a blue t-shirt, blue and yellow shorts, and black and white slippers. A white Toyota station wagon motor car was found at the scene. Police believe it was owned by Garnett. A cellular phone was also found on the scene with a copy of what is believed to be the dead man's driver's license. 4 struck by lightning at the Costa Cup match. The 4 persons who were struck by lightning at a school's boys football game in Linstead St. Catherine on Tuesday afternoon are being treated at the Linstead Hospital, reporters were informed. 3 players from the Dintle Technical High School team and an assistant referee were rushed to the Linstead Hospital after they were struck by lightning in the first half of the ISA Water Zone J game that was being played against Claremont High at Claremont High School in Linstead. The game was called off, and Everton Burke, a member of the management team of the Dintle Technical, who accompanied the 4 to the hospital, said all 4 were responsive and did not appear to be in danger. Burke told reporters that one player who he said had shoulder injury complained of pain all over in his shoulder and in his neck. He said that it was not raining at the time, about 25 minutes into the game, but it had rained earlier and the conditions were overcast. He stated that he was not sure whether the 4 would be admitted or treated and sent home, but said tests were being carried out on them. Girl falls into uncovered water tank, dies. Residents of Comfort District, a few miles out of Mandeville, were left in shock and disbelief after a little girl, said to be about 7 years old, is suspected to have drowned in an open concrete tank on Tuesday. The child was identified only as Kimmy, a grade 1 student at a nearby school. Residents told reporters that about midday, the child was attempting to retrieve a zipper from the tank when she lost her balance and fell in. They said firefighters who responded to their calls later removed the child's body from the tank. One resident who identified himself as Vol pointed to the danger of having open concrete tanks. As a father, I feel it to know that a child lost her life like this. We need to take some steps to deal with safety because even adults can make a wrong step and fall in it. I don't even know the little girl, but I feel it like my own child. It is just sad, he said. From now on, we have to take things more seriously. This tank, it has to be covered, now whether water is in it or for feeding animals or plants, he added. Another resident who asked not to be named said she knew the child well. She's just 7. She just graduated from basic school and started grade 1, the woman said. Her mother, is always around her 4 children, no matter if it is day or night. She just got a job and had to leave the children in the care of somebody else, one resident said. If me did know said this a go on, somebody to keep the children, I would have done so, added the resident. Residents claimed that the children were left by their mother in the care of her spouse, but it was unclear if the little girl and her siblings were being supervised in the moments leading up to the suspected drowning. Workers from the Child Protection and Family Services Agency visited the community on Tuesday following the incident. On September 18, 2020, there was a suspected drowning of Nadisha Simit, 19, a pregnant woman in the neighboring community of Settlement. Simit, who was visiting her boyfriend in the community, fell into an open concrete tank while seeking cover in bushes during an attack by a gunman. Alj Green, 20, was killed by the gunman in the attack. Chubby wanted for murder in Trelawny. Detectives assigned to the Falmouth Criminal Investigations Branch on Tuesday named a man who is reportedly wanted for murder in Trelawny. He is Akim Free, otherwise called Chubby, of Peel Street, Falmouth and Hague in the parish. Frame is wanted for the murder of Kemar Williams, otherwise called Kenny, which was committed on Monday, July 31st this year. Investigators are encouraging anyone with information that can assist the police in locating Frame to contact the Falmouth Police at 876-954-3271, Police 119 emergency number, Crime Stop at 311 or the nearest police station. Taxi operator accused of raping female passenger in St. Mary. A 33-year-old taxi operator has been charged with rape after he allegedly sexually assaulted a female passenger in Pear Tree Grove, St. Mary in April. Charged is Martel Hermit, otherwise called Jojo, of Palmetto Grove, Guys Hill, St. Catherine. Reports are that about 9:40 p.m., whilst traveling, an argument developed between Hermit and the woman and he stopped the vehicle. It is reported that he brought the woman to another location, rendered her unconscious and sexually assaulted her. A report was made to the police. He turned himself into the police on Monday, September 18, where he was charged for the offense. Fisherman charged with 2 of 5 murders of St. Anne's homeless. A fisherman was on Tuesday charged with 2 of 5 murders of homeless people in Ocharias area since the start of the year. The accused, Richard Belnavis, 45, has been slapped with 2 counts of wounding with intent and 1 count of unlawful wounding. He was arrested and charged for the July 23rd murder of Junior Hay, who was killed at Buckfield Playfield Community Center. Belnavis has also been charged for the April 10th slaying of an unidentified man who was attacked at a plaza. Both incidents occurred in Ocherias, St. Anne. In addition, he was charged for wounding 60-year-old Felisa Hyatt and Howard Garden, 64, both from Buckfield in Ocherias. Belnavis lived in both Buckfield and the Paggy section of Port Maria in St. Mary. The police said they are still investigating and gathering necessary evidence to lay additional charges against him. They have reassured residents of St. Anne that they are working tirelessly to maintain public order in the parish. Last week, commanding officer for the St. Anne Police Division, Senior Superintendent Dwight Paulwell, announced that a man had been taken into custody for the killings. Most of the victims of these crimes were mentally challenged and considered street people. As a result of intensive investigations carried out by detectives assigned to the Ocherias Police Station, the suspect was tracked down and arrested in the parish on Thursday, September 14, SSP Philip then said, and he promised to provide further updates. Farmer found dead in pit in St. Mary. A farmer was found dead near his home in Roadside District, Islington, St. Mary, Wednesday morning. Linton George Thomas, 41, otherwise called Bobo, or Benob, was found dead by residents who had launched a search for him in the community, police stated. Reports were that about 11:30 p.m. on Tuesday, residents heard several loud explosions coming from the direction of where Thomas lived, but did not call the police. Around 10:30 Wednesday morning, a family friend went to Thomas' house to make checks. However, he was not seen, and what appeared to be blood was observed leading to the house to a 2-story concrete structure that was still under construction. A search of that premises was carried out by community members, family members, and his dogs, and Thomas' body was found in a pit about 12 feet deep. It was clad in a black and white shirt and barefooted, with the upper body wrapped with what appeared to be tarpaulin. The help of the Port Mara Fire Department had to be requested to retrieve the body, the police stated. Body of 54-year-old St. Elizabeth man retrieved from sinkhole. Following almost 16 hours of effort to remove the body of Howard Smith, 54, from a sinkhole in Claremont, North St. Elizabeth, residents and the police retrieved the man's body on Wednesday. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police, Acting Superintendent Coleridge Minto, who was among those assisting in the retrieval from the 50 feet deep sinkhole, said Smith's body was spotted by residents about 6 p.m. on Tuesday. Reporters were told that Smith was reported missing on Sunday. Minto said the police didn't suspect foul play. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click